Hi everyone. So over the next couple of days, you are going to be working through the use of commas, and you are going to be filling out your packet on your own. So anytime you need to pause this video to write down all the correct notes, go ahead and pause it, that's fine. But you can see that commas are very important and they often get overlooked in our writing or they're used way too much. So hopefully with these rules, you will be able to keep track of comma rules and use them appropriately. So rule number 1 is that 3 or more items in a list should be separated by commas. You can see here down below that I love poetry, novels, and essays. You want to make sure that you have those commas in place so that you're not just saying I love poetry novels or something like that. That sounds silly. You could also say I hate commas, semicolons, and apostrophes. So again, you want to separate those so that they seem like 3 individual things instead of one just giant list. Rule number 2 is that 2 adjectives may or may not need to be separated by a comma. So we say may or may not because there's a rule that goes along with this that we'll do on the next slide. But you can see here that when we have rules like, or words like angry and green, we need a comma between them, or dingy and smelly. So here's where we kind of figure out where we need a comma. So to comma or not to comma. There should only be a comma between equal adjectives, meaning that there's a specific order or no specific order to those adjectives. So the easiest way to do that is to replace the comma with the word and. So if it makes sense to say the angry and green ogre knocked down the cave wall, then we should put a comma there, all right, because the order doesn't matter. Whereas with chocolate ice cream, it does not make any sense to say chocolate and ice and cream, or hot and summer and day. All right, so that doesn't make sense. We definitely don't need commas. Rule number 3, when a speaker addresses someone by name, which is called a direct address, the name should have commas around it. So Sally, you should really try out for the softball team. Jim, could you please shut the back door? You can see that we are talking to those people. That's what we mean by a direct address. We're not just using Sally's name or Jim's name randomly in a sentence. You have to be talking directly to them. So rule number 4, when a date is written out, there should be a comma between the day and the year, as well as after the year if the sentence continues. You can see here for our first sentence, John Lennon died on December 8th, 1980. We need a comma after the 8. We also need it after the year. On our second sentence, we only need it after the 1 because the sentence ends after 2016. For rule number 5, last one, when an address is written out, there should be a comma after the street name and after the city and after the state if the sentence continues. So you can see here we need it after street, we need it after Denver, we need it after Avenue, after Idaho Falls, and Colorado and Idaho would both need a comma as well if that sentence continued. So I'm going to have you pause the video here and see if you can add commas to these different sentences. So the first 5, you're identifying the comma error, where should a comma be added, and then the bottom 2 also have missing commas as well. They might have more than one. So go ahead, pause the video, see if you can work through these on your own, and then the video will continue here in a second and give you the answers.